Behind every legend lies a reason. This is Myth and Motive.
Subscribe to the Migo channel so you don't miss exciting videos. Hello. As we know, the Russian Federation is the world's largest country, spanning from Asia to Europe. Alongside areas with mild and pleasant climates, this nation also possesses one of the planet's harshest places, Siberia. This region has long attracted international attention for its unique characteristics found nowhere else. This land, covered in ice and snow with temperatures dropping to -70°C, is not only home to incredibly fierce wildlife but also incarcerates Russia's most dangerous criminals. Every river, lake, swamp, or sinkhole here is linked to a series of terrifying, unsolved mysteries. However, Russian President Putin greatly loves this place, so what does Siberia have that makes many want to explore it despite the bone-chilling cold? The strange and fascinating aspects of this icy land will be revealed in today's video. Siberia is a vast region almost entirely within Russia, covering nearly all of North Asia and much of the Eurasian steppe. This land stretches from the Ural Mountains in the west to the Pacific Ocean, bordered by the Arctic Ocean to the north and the hills of northern Kazakhstan. This area borders Mongolia and China, with the southwestern part not within Russian territory. Different parts of Siberia make up 77% of Russia's area but only 27% of its total population. This equates to an average population density of about 3 people per square kilometer, making Siberia one of the most sparsely populated. If Siberia were a country, it would still be the largest on the planet, but in terms of population, it would rank 35th globally and 14th in Asia. Life has existed here for a very long time. The first ancient people set foot in Siberia 45,000 years ago, and settlements spread to both Eastern and Western Europe and the Americas. By the Middle Ages, in the 12th century, Western Siberia was under the control of the Golden Horde, while the Yuan dynasty controlled much of Central and Eastern Siberia. However, when Russians arrived here in the 16th century, things changed. They gradually subdued the tribes in this territory, and by the 17th century, Siberia was officially annexed. It's no coincidence that Siberia is considered one of the harshest, located about 5,000 kilometers east of Moscow, on permafrost. Yakutsk in Siberia, in Russia's far east, is now the coldest city in the world. Although the weather here is extremely cold, about 300,000 people still live here. Here, wet clothes freeze in seconds, and food left outside freezes solid even in sunlight. Temperatures in Yakutsk can drop to -59°C, the locals say. Such weather is still warm, and they can carry on normally, as the record low here can reach -70.5°C. When stepping outside, every part of the body must be covered, with only a portion of the face exposed to see away. But this can easily lead to eyelashes and nose freezing. Removing gloves for 5 minutes can cause severe numbness, even pain like being pricked by needles. If in Vietnam, temperatures drop to 8°C, students get a day off. Here, at -59°C, while secondary school students and above, and if the temperature is only -40°C, all students go to school. Tourists here are advised to wear multiple layers of clothing, with thermal insulation. When going out, the whole body must be warmly dressed, with only the eyes exposed. Typically, locals stay outside for a maximum of 20 minutes to ensure health. But due to the treacherous terrain, desolation, and harsh weather, Siberia is also where the Russians built prisons and labor camps to exile political prisoners. Currently, Siberia still has a prison considered Russia's impregnable fortress, holding hundreds of the most dangerous criminals, such as terrorists and murderers serving life sentences. Built on the edge of Siberia, the Black Dolphin prison currently holds 700 of the most notorious and is the highest security prison in Russia. Overall, inmates at Black Dolphin prison have killed about 4,000 people. Thus, on average, each inmate has murdered about 5 people. At Black Dolphin prison, inmates are held in cells with 3 layers of doors under 24/7 surveillance by security. At each cell door, the inmates' crimes are listed so guards can be informed. Guards typically patrol and check the cells every 15 minutes. Lights are always kept on in these rooms. Every time prisoners are escorted out of their cells, they are blindfolded to prevent them from memorizing the prison. This reduces the risk of escape. A vast and harsh place like Siberia always holds strange and unbelievable things. First and foremost are the people. Living in an area with a temperature difference between winter and summer, certainly the people here are not like us. Siberians are very healthy. They can swim in sub-zero ice holes and rarely get sick. That resilience is cultivated over time to withstand nature's harshest conditions. Despite living in extremely difficult conditions, Siberians lead very comfortable lives. So comfortable that it surprises international friends. There is a local custom that astonishes and even gives goosebumps to anyone who hears it. It is that Siberian women often use their bodies to entertain guests. However, guests must know that after intercourse, the next morning he must bathe in that woman's urine. Otherwise, he will become an enemy of the woman he just slept with and her entire community. Therefore, when accepting relations with women here, guests must be mentally prepared to follow the rules, and not think about escaping. Leaving aside that somewhat eerie custom, Siberia in ancient language means beautiful and clean. And indeed, this vast land contains an ecosystem of majestic nature and is home to many impressive animal species. Siberia is home to many rare animals like tigers, brown bears, reindeer, polar bears, walruses, and blue. The most notable is the Siberian tiger. The Siberian tiger is also known as the Amur tiger. This is the largest tiger species in the world, with a length of up to 3.5 meters and a weight of 360 kilograms. They are mainly found in northeastern Russia, and the cold tolerance of this tiger species, they survive in the harshest environments. And Siberian tigers also have superior strength to hunt in the white snow. That's why they are called the lords of the taiga forest. Tigers typically hunt large creatures, such as wild boars, moose, deer, and even bear. For ordinary bears, when encountering a Siberian tiger, they have only one way to survive. Studies have shown that large, powerful brown bears are also important prey for Siberian tigers. Siberian tigers have almost no rival. This tiger species and gray wolves in Russia have fought and competed with each other since. It has been observed that when Siberian tiger numbers are high, gray wolves in the area. When Siberian tigers were hunted in large numbers, gray wolf populations increased. Later, when Siberian tigers were protected and recovered, gray wolf numbers gradually declined. After the 1980s, Siberian tiger numbers in Russia reached a high and remained stable for a long time. At this time, the population growth of gray wolves stagnated. Much evidence shows that tigers have no natural predators. And in the wild, no animal can curb their development. Another animal native to Siberia but beloved by fans worldwide is the husky dog. Goofy. But purebred husky dogs living in Siberia are not like that. Siberian huskies are primitive sled dogs, originally distributed mainly in northeastern Russia and southern Greenland. Initially, Siberian huskies used as sled dogs in cold regions were fierce hunting dogs. They love exercise, and running swiftly on white snow has become a beautiful symbol. Huskies have also become legendary figures in Russian cinema and appear in many famous TV series, not only in films but in real life. Huskies are also linked to important historic. In 1925, a diphtheria outbreak occurred in a town in Alaska. 20 mushers and over 150 dogs participated in a race against time to deliver the serum. A team of husky sled dogs made history by covering over 600 kilometers in harsh blizzard conditions to transport the medicine on time. Therefore, this dog breed is considered a close friend and a source of pride for the local. Despite being one of the planet's most extreme climates, Siberia still possesses Lake Baikal, the world's oldest freshwater lake, is located in eastern Siberia of Russia. Baikal is a unique natural wonder with rare beauty in the world. Many famous songs, poems, and folk songs have been composed about this lake region. Hidden deep within that beauty are mysteries. At depths of thousands of meters beneath Lake Baikal's bottom, mysteries continue. This is the world's deepest freshwater lake, with its deepest point reaching 1,000. Simultaneously, the lake holds the world's largest freshwater reserve, accounting for about 20. According to calculations, this amount of water is enough to supply all of humanity. With an area of 31,722 square kilometers, the scenery around the lake's surface resembles a giant mirror, reflecting an Lake Baikal's water is so crystal clear emerald blue, rocks and organisms at the bottom can still be seen. Lake Baikal also possesses an extremely rich flora and fauna, of which up to 2/3 exist and develop over a year. Some famous rare animals include the seal species called Nerpa Baikal, and the unique Golanelka fish with a transparent body that gives birth to live young instead of laying eggs. To this day, scientists have not precisely determined Lake Baikal's age. Most hypotheses suggest Lake Baikal is between 25 and 30 million. If this assumption is correct, Baikal would be the oldest among ancient lakes. Typically, lakes do not exist for more than 10,000 to 4, because after this period, they usually silk up and turn into Many mysteries are whispered about Lake Baikal. Even the lake's formation origin contains thrilling stories. One story tells of a meteorite hitting Earth and creating a large crack, which later became lake. Another story revolves around a powerful man named Baikal. In ancient times, Baikal had a beautiful daughter named Angara. Angara was so beautiful that, to protect her, her father locked her in a high tower. But the daughter fell in love with a man named Eunice and escaped her father to follow her lover. Baikal found out, became angry and, throwing a broken mountain fragment to block her path from eating it, Angara cried until her tears dried up, begging her father for forgiveness but Baikal replied that he could only give her his tears. That is why the Angara and Yenisei river branches of Lake Baikal form a teardrop shape as seen today. As for Baikal, reading over his daughter's story, became cold and gloomy like a somber chill commonly seen in a lake later. Another story tells that when humans first set foot in this area, there was no trace of, and despite searching for a long time in vain, they became weary, until a pilgrim appeared, pitying the fate of the residents about to die of thirst, so decided to tear the heart from his chest. The heart broke through the thick soil and water gushed out abundantly and purely, forming Lake Baikal as it is today. Lake Baikal has a very frightening mystery. The legend claims that a water dragon lives in Mukham Bay, the warmest part of the lake. Some rumors say this dragon resembles a giant sturgeon with an ugly face. Others say it is a lizard monster with claws and armor along its back. Meanwhile, others believe the monster looks like an ancient crocodile, ancestor of crocodiles. Ancient evidence of the Lake Baikal monster was discovered on carvings around Lake Baikal, dating from the 3rd to the 9th century BC. On the stone carving depicts the image of a mysterious water monster, with a shape resembling a lizard, sharp claws and armor plates along its back. To appease the beast's ferocity, local people offered animal fur, jewelry, and food to the lake creature for several. Some even performed blood sacrifice rituals. It is reported that in the 1980s, Soviet researchers recorded a moving object 30 meters long on the lake bottom using echo-sounding equipment, but they did not clarify exact. Besides ancient legends, this deep lake is also associated with many reports of UFOs and aliens. Interestingly, the UFO-related stories here come from secret Soviet Navy documents. The people living around Lake Baikal themselves also recount. Many people frequently see strange scenes on the lake's surface, from castle shapes to trains, sheds. Sometimes at night, from beneath the lake, very frightening lights. To this day, Lake Baikal still makes people wonder about the so-called aliens, and the real answer remains in the dark. Not only Lake Baikal, in Siberia there is another mysterious location, about 660 kilometers northeast of Yakutsk city, near the Jana River basin known as the Gateway to Hell. People here believe this location is the starting point of the path leading to the mysterious underground world like the legendary Hell, as the Batideka crater. First discovered in 1980, the Batideka crater is about 1 kilometer long and 86 meters deep. However, over the years, this crater has been continuously growing and expanding. According to scientists' research, the giant Batideka crater formed from the melting of underground permafrost, dating back about 2.5 to 8 million years ago. During the bang, when the surrounding forest area was destroyed in the 1960s, it caused the crater to be exposed. The sun's heat warmed this land, leading to the ice in the ground starting to melt, thereby causing the ground to subside and collapse. Scientists' calculations show the crater is growing relatively fast with an expansion rate of about 20 to 30 meters per year. This is extremely alarming, as the crater's expansion rate seems to have accelerated compared to when it was. Satellite images show the Batideka crater, like a giant black hole mouth, continuously spreading outward, and as if pulling everything around into it. But on the surface, various gases and minerals trapped under the ice for thousands of years are suddenly. Climate warming is accelerating this process. Gaining research of the bottom layer shows the Batideka crater is about 650,000 years old, the oldest in Eurasia. The indigenous people living around the crater recount that recently they often hear worrying loud explosions in the area. Studying the Batideka crater will help scientists understand more about the ancient world buried deep under the ice as well as the relationship between humans, animals, plants, and the environment to find solutions to cope with, contributing to Siberia's mystery. Besides the giant lake of unknown age and the ever-expanding Death Black Lake, there is also a strange valley located in northwestern Yakutia, Siberia, near the upper Vilivi River. It stores traces of many major geological changes underground that occurred. In this area, people also found strange metal fragments deep underground. Today, scientists still cannot determine their chemistry. This area spans over 1,000 square kilometers, covered by vast taiga forests with many swamps, volcanic areas, and is believed to bear traces of meteorite collisions with Earth. Siberia, this land is where the event nomadic people pass through. The nomads recount that they often see metal plates with colors like copper but very hard and sharp, capable of easily cutting other metals. Each plate has a diameter of 6 to 8 meters, covered on the outside with a layer resembling grinding. When using a knife to scratch it, People don't see any scratch marks left on the surface. Through analysis, scientists found these metal plates are fragments of large circular blocks that could contain many people inside. In 1936, while exploring the Death Valley, a Russian geologist discovered a reddish metallic hemisphere protruding from the ground. This hemisphere was large enough to contain 2 people lying inside. At that time, the geologist didn't have enough measuring tools or knowledge to determine what it was. By 1979, when another archaeological team came to this place with a Russian geologist, the ground there was empty. People living near the Death Valley recount they witnessed many strange phenomena in the area, such as giant spheres flying up from the ground, exploding and scattering metal fragments. Phenomena of dry lightning, ball lightning, and traces of meteorite collisions. Many people reported seeing mushroom-shaped fireballs rising into the sky like a nuclear bomb explosion. Particularly, people noticed that plants here don't grow like natural plants. They are very lush, leaves wider than normal with many branches. Grass is also very large and reaches here. One of the strangest legends about the Death Valley told by Yakutsk nomads is that one day, the valley was suddenly covered by thick fog and hit by violent lightning. A giant whirlwind rose from the ground, dust flying for hundreds of miles. This strange object had a copper-like color and emitted very piercing sounds. Shortly after, it disappeared deep underground, leaving a giant crater with a radius.
It is said that anyone curious enough to approach the crater to see what happened never returned.
After that, giant fireballs appeared in this area shooting up from underground. When hitting the ground, they caused terrible explosions and created holes up to 100 meters deep in the mountainous area surrounding.
After the explosions, local residents were forced to leave to find safer places to live.
According to scientists, the strange explosions and legends closely resemble modern nuclear explosions. They also discovered that the remains in the Death Valley have many similarities with the mysteries of the ancient Mayan civilization in Mexico. Particularly in the Death Valley at certain times of the day, scientists measured radiation levels from the ground higher than normal. Scientists believe that deep underground in the Death Valley, there is intense activity of magnetic fields. Because the Soviet military once tested nuclear weapons here, the residual radiation combined with magnetic fields causes the area to be heavily contaminated.
However, the origin of the strange metal plates found here and their chemical composition have not yet been explained.
Some people even believe these are fragments of extraterrestrial flying saucers, because many people in the area have personally witnessed strange glowing objects. To this day, the mysteries about this land have not been clarified. What is surprising about Siberia is not only the unsolved mysteries but also its astonishing existence. This seemingly barren land contains the world's largest gold mine, with estimated reserves of about 540 million. Russia's largest gold mining company, Olios, is striving to secure 100% ownership of the Suvoy gold mine in Siberia. Suvoy is located in the Yakutsk region, and this gold mine was discovered by Soviet geologists in 1961, and, according to Bloomberg, with reserves of 40 million ounces of gold. The Suvoy mine accounts larger than Sea Rouge Gold's KSM project in Canada and Almond Gold in Alaska, USA. Although it is the planet's most extreme climate location, it cannot be denied that Siberia is a diverse land. Not only possessing majestic nature and captivating scenery, this place also hides many unsolved scientific mysteries and is home to enormous resources. It is no coincidence that this freezing place is Russian President Putin's favorite resort. In harsh conditions, Siberia knows how to create its own unique features.
If the legend hooked you, subscribe and open the next case.